When the doubt gets loud, but answer that call. Vision ain't real till you grind at speed, so breathing deep. Then call the damn leads. Call the damn leads.
Hey, welcome back to Call the Damn Leads, the show by sales professionals for sales professionals. I'm your host, Drewbie Wilson. With more than 2 decades in sales, I've seen it, been through it, heard about it. Now I'm bringing those stories to you, my favorite people in the world, the sales community. Because let's be honest, this is the greatest show on earth. It doesn't matter where you come from, what background, what personality type, what gender. You can make an amazing life in sales. Today's guest, no stranger to the journey, someone I'm very excited to have on the show. I'd like to welcome Miss Audrey, the Tech Diva, Wiggins. How you doing?
Hey, Drewbie, I am doing awesome. Thanks for having me here. I'm excited to get going. Don't beat me up too bad, but I'm happy to let's call those doggone leads or damn leads. Let's get it.
Hey, come on now. Hey, listen, I will say we had an absolute blast on your show. If you're listening, be sure at the end of this, go and check out our episode over on Audrey's show. But I want to hear your crazy sales story for this show, because I know you got some good ones.
I'll find a couple.
Tell me, I know you're in marketing, you run all together. Like, what made you decide to go down the path of marketing and branding yourself as the Tech Diva? Like, what started that whole journey?
Wow. Well, the Tech Diva came about when I was doing my shows, actually, and I was running through different names. I was like, okay, what is it? Queen of the virtual world, that was long, and digital diva, but like the Tech Diva, because we're still in this age of of technology and people using that to brand, because it's a tool. We started off, of course, with quills and inks and stuff like that. But the Tech Diva it really stuck. It resonated because I think I'm kind of a little jazzy sometimes, can, be a little hip. And so the Tech Diva, that stuck, and people, it resonated with folks, and they loved calling me that name. I think they just like the name. I don't know if they like me, but they like the name.
Well, hey, listen, let's just be honest. When you're building a brand and you're doing all the stuff when it comes to like your business and marketing, that's all part of it. Like, sometimes people just love to support a brand or a movement, even if they don't know who the person is behind the thing, or, maybe they don't even always agree with the main person, but they still love the movement. That's the thing that I love about sales and marketing too, right? Is that we get the opportunity to step into a realm where our personality becomes a part of who people are supporting and wanting to do business with. So, what is really your main focus when it comes to marketing, and why does the Tech Diva kind of fit as a part of that?
Yeah, it's the digital marketing piece. And I can remember when I first really got into marketing, was more like the advertising side. I was like, I can't stand, marketing, analytics, all that stuff. It was kind of dry. It was like, is that the right brain or left brain stuff? But as technology, evolved over the years, that part of the business really, it started to excite me, because I was able to do, get facts and figures like quickly and really understand, what they meant, because that's let's face it, that's important. We can put out all the ads and organic stuff we want, but understanding what it's doing, who's watching, who's listening, the engagement piece. And so that's where that real, digital marketing piece comes in, the behind the scenes part, behind the gloss and the glitz. So that excites me. But I just really, I just really love this industry, because at the end of the day, say if I do something for you and you love it, and then you get the reaction that you need, then like, I'm done. I'm like, oh, I've done my job. I'm excited about that. I love seeing other people succeed.
That's a beautiful way to put it. I've always enjoyed marketing for the aspect of just kind of what you just mentioned, in sense of, if I'm able to come in with my expertise and I can help you take your brand and your offer and get it in front of the right people at the right time, and they decide to do business with you, it's a win for you because you are, seeing people want to do business with you. It's a win for the person who's getting a good service. And it's a win for me as a marketer because I've now done my job and been able to truly show you what this process should look like. And I would imagine over the years, you've seen a lot of things work really well. You've seen a lot of things not work. Maybe they worked really well and stopped working. So what are some of the mistakes you're seeing right now here, end of 2025 into early 2026 that people are still making in their branding and marketing?
Yeah, they're still, this is really a pet peeve. They're still using personal emails. There's no branded email. Oh my God, I hit a nerve.
Can I get an amen? Can I get an amen?
Okay, let the choir start singing. Okay, put that organ in.
Okay, I didn't want to interrupt, but praise be. Audrey,
I know.
Get them. Get them. Oh.
Okay, people, and I've got talks out there, episodes. Don't start crying, Drew. I know it's hurt. I know it's hurting you. You wiping your eyes.
Oh my word! That is. Get them. No, keep going. I'm good. I'll get myself together.
Okay,
I'm a professional.
Okay.
I can handle this.
Hey, I know you can. I know you can.
We're good.
But that gets my goat. Oh my goodness. And we all started there. I've had the
Right.
email, the emails and stuff. And sometimes you create them so that can be like your back office email, so you don't have your main email with all of your vendors and suppliers, all your subscriptions coming through. So it's still, it serves a purpose. But when it comes to being in the marketplace and, calling the damn leads, if you are calling, they want to see that, that email is coming from, Drewbie at callthedamnleads.com.org, whatever your URL is. And so that's very important. It also, it extends your SEO as well. So it's not just, it's more than just the appearance of it, which, the branding part, which is I just have a fit when I see that. And it is so stupid. It's like you can go overboard. It's like, oh my God, I have so many email addresses. One for this website, one for that website, and it's and the other piece to that is while you're out there grabbing those branded emails, for your website, for your business name, grab your name. Even if you aren't using it yet, grab it. You can use it for your LinkedIn, AudreyWiggins.com. It can go to your LinkedIn. It can go to your Linktree or Popple, whichever, I use the digital business card. Whatever that is, when they get there, they'll see, of course, that it's, that it's LinkedIn or whatever, but driving that traffic. And again, it just widens your digital footprint. You're out there on that super highway. You're going by with that branded license plate. Here comes the cops because you're going too fast.
Oh, yeah, I love that so much. I one time said something along those lines from stage at a conference full of real estate agents, and you would have thought I murdered someone's little old grandmother. The way some of these people looked at me with absolute disgust and offense, Audrey, my word. But I love the point of it is, transparently, y'all, we're picking on you, but here's why. It's simple, it's inexpensive, and it makes you look like a professional. And
Absolutely.
That's the big difference, right? Is it does not take a lot to create a massive gap between a professional and an amateur. And even if you have the same amount of experience, maybe the amateur has more experience in your niche, but the fact that you took the time to make a professional website and a professional email and all of the things that go along with social psychology, it is going to give you that authority in your marketplace. So, Audrey, thank you for sharing that, because it is such a huge thing. But it brings me to my next question. How can someone who's in small business, an entrepreneur, it's, a noisy, crowded marketplace right now. How can we stand out with everybody having access to all of these tools and softwares and things that exist to build their brand with?
Content. You have to create, and you have your professional videos and professional images taken, because definitely those have a place in that, and that represent your brand, because you want to have that professional image. But just your everyday content, going out there, just being authentic. Pick up your phone. Let's do a TikTok. Let's do an Instagram reel, and talk to the people. So just being out there, so the video is still king or still queen, whichever way you want to look at it. But so doing those things and just being out there regularly, and you don't have to be on, there's tens of channels out there, right? Your platform. So you don't have to be on all of them. And sometimes people say, that there's the saying of, go where your clients are. Basically our clients, our prospects, our avatar, they're everywhere. So just pick the few that you can maintain by yourself, or if you're going to get a VA, because all of our businesses evolve. Everyone starts at the beginning with nothing, right? And so whatever your time allows, including using AI, because that kind of sometimes doubles your time and space. So definitely I know we'll probably talk about that. But making sure that you're shooting off those videos, just talking to your audience, just being there, showing up in the marketplace.
I love that advice. Content. Even if you feel like you've said it a million times, there's 2 billion people on social media at any given time. They ain't heard it yet. And the people that have heard it 100 times, they don't mind. Go ahead. Yep. You were going to say something?
No, I was saying exactly, because sometimes people say, well, when should I post? You just post twice a day, pick where, maybe it's 11 and 3, because the people at 11 o'clock may not be the same group at 3 o'clock. And they may not even see it until the next day or 2 days later. I posted on something today, and I looked at it on LinkedIn, and the person that put it out there 5 days ago, I'm like, I didn't see it, but it showed up in my feed today. So sometimes it doesn't even have to have anything to do with when the person necessarily is online. It's when the algorithms, the platforms themselves will feed that content to those folks.
That is the beautiful part of social media, right? Is the conversations that you would have one-to-one with someone, telling your story or an interesting thing, or maybe somewhat talking about a case study or a testimonial in your business, something that happened that is interesting and relatable to the people who may see it. They're working. They got jobs just like you. But the thing is, if you can have something out there that is getting their attention on occasion and reminding them that you're the person who has the solution to the specific problem they're likely to either be currently facing or to run into based upon, commonality and interest that they have together with you, it's crazy how they will start reaching out. But here's how this doesn't work. You keep making excuses about not posting, and you aren't consistent, because guess what does happen? The algorithm learns. It watches. It knows when you're posting. It knows who is engaging. And then what does it do? It takes the post that you're posting at the time you keep posting at and shows it to the people who are going to engage on your post at the time you normally post it at. Why? Because humans love routine. So yes. I always say this, Audrey, when it comes to content posting and creation, my secret hack, do you mind if I share it with you? Because I think you'll love it.
Please.
I always say pick a theme and pick a routine, because it's so much easier to have consistency when there's a theme and a routine around something. So like for me, I always post motivational content in the morning. I know my audience is entrepreneurs and sales professionals and people who deal with rejection and all sorts of wildly wacky stuff all day long. So I know we need that little dose of motivation in the morning. And so for me, it's when I get out of the gym after I've done the hard thing that I didn't necessarily want to do, but I did it. and I've got that extra serotonin and dopamine, and I'm listening to, Eric Thomas or someone hype me up on the way home because I got all that extra adrenaline, that's a great time to create that motivational piece of content. And even if I don't post it, I can save it and use it later. Your
Absolutely.
thoughts?
Oh, I'm with you 110%. Create in the moment. Like you said, you may not post it, but when the urge hits you, that's when you should go ahead and start. It's almost like you have a notepad, right? Whether it's your digital notepad or physical piece, paper and a pen. When a thought comes into your mind, you have to capture it. And because if you don't, it's gone. Just, oh yeah, I'm gonna remember that later. That'll make a good video. I'll put that out, on my Instagram reels. Okay, by the time the afternoon comes tomorrow, it's like, what was it? It's like remembering a dream. It's like you have to capture that, and I love that, in the moment. And then I love the part, especially when you talked about, putting your motivational pieces out in the morning. And that brings me to another topic of, types of posts or category of posts. So you've got a motivational. I mean, that's not necessarily your business isn't motivation, but you are a motivator. So, so you're going to do your motivation. You're going to talk about, lead capturing. You're going to talk about the tools to use in your business. So you might have 3 posts that day with those 3 different topics, or you may do it 3 days and one day is motivation. However, it works for that individual, but that's perfect.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I know you and I share a love of the game and, really nerding out on the details of this stuff, because that's where there's so much nuance. And this is where I think so many people get very overwhelmed, right? What's the thing that I need to be doing right now? And where do I need to be spending my money? And who should I be hiring? Because everybody wants thousands and thousands of dollars to do this and to do that. And I don't know what's going to work in my business. I can imagine you hear a lot of the same kind of stuff I hear when it comes to sales and marketing. And so what are some of the trends for people maybe to avoid? What are some of the trends for maybe people to think and realize aren't really trends, but just consistent cycles in the market? Like, help us understand what we need to be thinking about right now, because it can get a little overwhelming.
Absolutely, because you start talking about tools, first look at all the subscriptions that you have. And I did this exercise, and I still have to weed some out because, some things overlap. So anyway, so look at the tools that you have. First, what is it you're trying to accomplish? Really, okay, so this tool can help me do that. This one can help me do that. And this one kind of brings them all together. I can put them in, there's that word, all together. I love it. To take care of what you need for that particular thing. So sometimes the trends are to chase all the shiny stuff. AI, of course, is the elephant in the room, and so everyone's coming at it at a different angle. And of course, it's 20 years old or more. But the generative stuff and agents and clones and bots and all of that, sometimes the language is different, but the foundation of the tool is actually the same. So just make sure you're looking close, because I made a $2,500 mistake, and I already had the tool. It's just that I hadn't had time to get to it yet, and I only spent a fifth of that on what I already had. So that's like embarrassing, and it's like, we in this hunger crisis, and so I could have donated that. That was part of my retirement money. I just retired. Here I go, talking all my vernacular. And so that was a waste. I hate to say totally wasted, but it is a waste. And I talked to the folks who was trying to get a refund. It was way too late. I mean, you can always get refunds, but it was way too late. Yeah. By the time I actually figured it out, because I started seeing the patterns of somebody I interviewed, looking at the package that I had, because I had started to go through it. And so, this is built on the same technology. So be careful. Don't jump too fast, and go through some trainings, but don't because there's a trend too. It's like, I'm a lifelong learner. There's others. You get caught up in that. Okay, I'm gonna go use all those emails we get for all these trainings, and we get trained out to we aren't producing anything, and then it becomes the hype behind. Okay, if I go to this trade, I got to learn this extra thing, or they're talking about this, and we ain't doing nothing.
Amen.
So watch out for the trending. Of course, I have training out there. I'm going to work on some new AI training. So please go to my training. But
That's the hardest part. I just like, hey, listen, just buy my training, but don't be getting caught up in everybody else's training because some of it's trash. Like, mine's good, but some of it,
Okay. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, last year before I retired, I was like, I really got to do this thing. I had gone to 5 different types of training. Some was in person because they had some down at the job. I was going to those. And, but just to space it out and really, really look at what you need for your business. And if you make a chart, if you need to do a spreadsheet, ask Chat GTP. Compare these or send me some stuff back that I need to work out first, because again, and a lot of it is not a lot of money. And when you start doing your subscriptions, but they can add up, the $15 here, the $20 here, the $49 a month there. So really, really compare and get your money's worth out of what you have. And if you have to start small, I always love that, So.
I love that advice. I always tell my clients, you got to do a systems audit now and then. What are you using? Why are you using it? Is there overlap? Can you find ways to automate, delegate, or eliminate certain parts of these things, right? Like if you can just break it down and make it easier on yourself, why wouldn't you? And a lot of times we're really guilty of just overcomplicating things. You don't need as many of those fancy bells and widgets and all the things that they tell you that you need to be a super successful multi-bajillionaire. And that's the thing I think too I loved about your advice in terms of what's the process look like? Because I like to draw it out. I'm kind of visual in terms of in my own mind, I'll sit there and close my eyes and I'll draw it out. Some people need to see it like on paper, but to me, if you're putting together this plan for how am I going to market my business, how am I going to market my brand, what's the altogether flow from what are they seeing, how are you capturing their attention to come in and take the next step, and then what is the thing that they're taking the next step to do that gives them some sort of valuable ad that says, hey, I like the thing that I just got. It provided me value. It gave me joy. It fixed a problem. It gave me whatever the thing, like what's the offer? Most people don't even have that figured out. And then once they've taken the offer, what steps happen from there? So this is where I think what you had mentioned about like really getting clear about what's going to happen and why you're going to be spending in certain areas. Absolutely fantastic advice. And Audrey, I'd be willing to bet we could probably nerd out on these topics for the next several hours. But exactly. I want to respect your time. And I know you have so much great information to share. You have an amazing podcast with tons and tons of great guests, myself included. So go check it out. Selfishly, I'm just saying. Got a pretty good episode together. But how can the audience and the listeners come find you, follow you, check out more of your content?
Absolutely. Thanks, Drewbie. That's awesome. So if they just go to alltogether.biz, you'll see a bunch of buttons there because I'm doing a redesign, a rebranding for the website, but but the content's there. You'll be able to contact me. So alltogether.biz, 1L, because what? Because we have it all together. That's the word.
Preach. Listen, if you enjoy the show today, make sure you go follow Audrey. Check out her site. Go see her training. She's a brilliant lady that is an absolute blast to chat with. Every time it's just been something special. So make sure you follow her. Make sure you share this episode on social media. Tell your friends about it. Maybe you know someone who kind of sucks at sales and they need like a good reminder on some of the basics. You don't have to tell them they suck, but you can send them this episode and just say, hey, I was listening to this and it made me think of you. So I wanted to send it your way. That's also a great thing to think about with your prospects. Trying to follow up, listen to something cool, send it to them. Hey, this made me think of you. Just wanted to send it your way. A little value add, something different. Anyhow, leave us a review. Check out the other episodes. Listen to all the crazy stories. If you have a story and you want to share yours on the show, go over to callthedamnleads.com/podcast. Send us your details, check everything out, then grab a hat, keychain, wristband, t-shirt, hoodie, something cool. Represent the movement for Call the Damn Leads. Cause what are we going to do from here? We're going to call the damn leads. We'll see you guys next time.
When the doubt gets loud, but answer that call. Vision ain't real till you grind that speed, so breathing deep. Then call the damn leads. Call the damn leads.